Hello and welcome to Sunbeam Chronicles, where we are trying to brighten your day by telling you stories of good things happening in the world. I have a great story here to start off with. I feel like I'll see stories every now and then about people helping homeless people and doing kind things to them, but this story is about how a homeless man brightened the day of this woman. I was having an awful day, and it wasn't just that. I was struggling in every way possible for years. This one day, though, I'm on my drive home, and I'm just crying my eyes out, and I had to pull over in a parking lot to take a breath. I'm parked facing a road with a sidewalk. I had my forehead down on the steering wheel and was just trying to calm myself down. I looked up, and I see a man who was clearly homeless walking towards my car. He slows down and puts his hands up like he's trying to tell me that he wasn't a threat or something. I roll my window down a little bit and he says, "I'm so sorry, but I walked past your car and something kept telling me to turn around and tell you that everything will be okay," he said. I tried to ignore the feeling, but it was overwhelming me. I said, "Really, thank you so much. I am having a horrible day and I don't know how much more I can take. I really needed to hear something like that." He just said, "It's okay. God bless you," and walked away. It literally made me start to burst out crying. It still affects me when I think about it or talk about it. I don't know who this man was, but he gave me so much comfort. I wish I could have gotten his name or anything to really thank him. I just hope he is safe and living a good life. It might seem like a small thing, but in that moment, it was exactly what I needed. I love this story. I love that a homeless man, and you think of homeless people as having nothing and they're the ones who need help. But in this moment, he was exactly what this woman needed and was able to be God's hands and say exactly what she needed to hear. And I just think that like we all have something to give.
Yeah, I think we often look at like homeless people as, destitute, down on their luck, maybe drug addicts, whatever it might be. But like a lot of times I feel like, they've been through so much. And when you go through things, a lot, like experience things, you either, kind of crash and burn or you learn a lot from it. I think they probably have a lot of good words of wisdom and listening to whatever it was that told them to turn around to, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I think no matter where we are in our lives and what we're going through, we have something good to share with those around us.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this is a thread about acts of kindness shown to us, but it was me witnessing an act of kindness towards someone else that really helped mold me and how I viewed the world. My mom and dad were at their local Denny's, the good one, not the crappy one across town, and their waitress was making small talk with my parents. People always opened up to my mom out of nowhere. She was just one of the kindest souls, and somehow people could tell immediately. The waitress was working double shifts because she was pregnant and she was struggling to get all the things she needed. She was joking about, "No one ever tells you how expensive kids are," etc. And they all laughed together and went their separate ways. I feel that is where it would have ended for most people. But my mom went to Target and bought a stroller, a car seat, and a bunch of other miscellaneous items for the waitress. She took them back and dropped them off and didn't even wait for the waitress to see them. I was blown away not just by the kindness, but the kindness without the need for people to realize the great thing that she did. Sadly, my mom lost the battle with cancer about 5 years ago, but I do my best to be like her and help people even when they don't ask, and I don't receive anything in return. I always feel like I am falling a bit short of her, but I know she would be proud that I was trying. I truly believe if more people were even just a little more like my mom, the world would be a more loving place. I like this one a lot because it talks about, the act of kindness of doing it. And we hear a lot of times about kindness, people doing things and immediately, being thanked for it. But that wasn't what she was about, just doing kindness for kindness sake and, helping somebody out who's struggling, who is in need. And I love how that act of kindness, her witnessing that, has helped shape her life. And she tries to be just a little bit more like her mom every day.
I love that she hears a need and fills a need. Okay, the next story I have is about a university student without a car. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. I am a student at a university and just recently moved to a major city, so I've been trying to figure out how to get to and from my nearest grocery store without a car and learning how to carry it all home afterward. I was really struggling one day with my roommate being sick and us being out of a lot of home necessities, so I went to Whole Foods by myself and then carried everything home about 10 blocks. As I was walking, one of my bags broke and everything spilled out onto the floor. I saw many people look at me, but not exactly help, until this one lady came up and started helping me put all the groceries back into my existing bags. She then insisted she help me carry them the extra few blocks, even though it wasn't in the direction she was originally headed. I felt that it was truly a selfless act of kindness and that she possibly related to me in one way or another as a new young resident to a big city. She then said goodbye to me and wished me luck on my semester at college and walked back in the other direction. If I ever see that happen on the street to someone, I will make sure to try and help as best I can and hopefully inspire others to do the same, as I know we have all been there. And we've all been there where we're struggling and we're trying to get things done, and it's like that last straw that just breaks it. I can just imagine, like, you have all these groceries and you're walking 10 blocks home and a bag breaks, in true Home Alone fashion, and you're just like
wanting to just break down and cry.
Like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
My hands are full and I don't have anywhere to put all these, and just having someone stop and help, even if the lady just helped her put the groceries in the bag. I feel like that is meaningful, just to know that people care enough to stop and help, and to see you, to know that people see you. I feel like is such a big thing in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you are enjoying these stories and they are brightening your day, please give us a like and leave a comment on how this video has inspired you, and consider subscribing for more. If you would like to share a story with us, please send it to sunbeamchronicles@gmail.com. Now, on to our last story.
When I first moved to Portland last year, I was super broke, had just enough money to pay for my bills, and my clumsy self dropped my phone face down on the ground, so it completely didn't work. I could call people using voice recognition, but even that stopped working after a couple days. I thought it was just an issue with the screen, so I took it to the Apple store for a screen replacement, and they told me it got water damage on the inside somehow, and I would need a whole new phone, which was double the cost of a screen replacement, and I totally could not afford it. I spent the next half hour just bawling, walking around downtown trying to figure something out. I was 19 at the time, with no friends or family in the town, not to mention I had no idea where I was going because I just moved. I was so lost, and I felt like such an idiot for breaking my phone, and I didn't want to have to borrow money from my family or friends for a new one because everyone already doubted my idea to move on my own in the first place. This lady stopped me and asked what was wrong because I was clearly distraught. I told her in short what had just happened, not expecting anything to come of it, but it was nice to have someone to talk to. She told me her husband had just upgraded his phone and they had a spare iPhone at the house, and to meet her at Starbucks the next day to give it to me. She gave me her business card so I could email her, and she did in fact meet me at Starbucks and gave me an old iPhone for free. And I have never been more grateful, and I hope I can repay the favor to her or do something similar for someone else when I am in a better position in my life. I really don't know what I would have done if I hadn't ran into her.
That's amazing.
I think this one applies to all of us nowadays. Phones are so expensive, and even when you can't afford it, you don't want to have to get a new phone. And not even just the act of saying, oh, I have a spare phone, but being like, oh, I have one at home. Let me come and meet you a day from now and I can give it to you.
And then actually showing up. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when my phone was, I think it had gotten wet or something, and it was malfunctioning, and I was driving, I don't even know why I was there, but in downtown Norfolk, and my navigation was not working, and I had all the kids with me, and I was so lost, and I was so stressed out, and I was and it was not a good part of town. And I remember pulling over. I finally found a decent looking area and pulled over to a furniture store and went in, and the nice lady there printed off directions for me from MapQuest. I was like, I didn't know if MapQuest was still a thing or not because it's been a while. But anyway, she did that for me, and it was so helpful, and I was super grateful.
Yeah, I love how in these stories, a lot of the people that have these acts of kindness talk about how they want to do something or they do things later on in life because of these acts. And that's why we're reading these stories, why we're doing this, because we love that thought, that ideology of, spreading the kindness and doing it to others as you had it done to you. So that's one reason I also love that story too.
All right, that's it for today's stories. We hope you have a renewed hope for humanity and feel inspired to share your own light with those around you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know in the comments when you do, and we will do our best to respond. Again, if you have any stories you'd like to share, please send them to sunbeamchronicles@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you so we can spread the light and encourage others to be the good. Have an amazing day.